All right, so step two, let's go over counsel and qualifying. It's also called a needs assessment, and this is when we're going to find out what got their motivation up to actually come to the dealership. We all know that most people would rather do a lot of different things besides come shopping for a vehicle. So sometimes they're going to come in, they're not going to be super communicative, they're going to be pretty, standoffish. They're going to hold their cards close to their vest, and they're probably not going to want to give you a lot of information. But your job is to give that information. Sometimes when I had somebody I could tell was really just not at ease and not comfortable yet, I would say something along the lines of, hey, Mr. Customer, I'm guessing that there's probably 100 other things you'd rather be doing than shopping for a car. And they're usually going to say, yeah, absolutely, Mike, I don't like salespeople really that much. You seem like a nice guy, but this is just not something that I really enjoy doing. And I go, I agree. I completely understand. It's not something that I want to do on my day off either, or on my spare time is go shopping for a car or anything like on this level. But I can promise you this. I'm simply going to find out exactly what you're hoping to accomplish. I'm going to find out how you want it equipped. I'm going to find out what you want to do with your current car, and if there's a way we can help you with that. Make sure that all your must-haves are accounted for, and then we're going to make sure that it's going to fall in line with what your budget requirements are. So if you just give me a few moments, I'll do all that, and then it's going to save you a bunch of time, and then we can take a look at some options for you. How's that sound? Now, by doing that, a lot of times they get disarmed and they relax, and they don't feel like, okay, this is just like every other salesman I've ever dealt with who's just trying to rip me off. I'm really trying to help them, and I can only help them by figuring out what it is that they need to get done, right? I need to find out what boxes they need checked, and I didn't know what their must-haves are, not necessarily their wants, but their must-haves, right? So after finding out everything for bucket number one, which is all the information I'm trying to find out about why they're in the market for buying a new car, how they need that new car equipped, what that new car is going to do for them, who's going to be the primary driver, and how's it going to be used during the week and on weekends, right? So that I can make sure that I can discuss all the benefits that this vehicle is going to provide for them. And then the second bucket that I want to talk about is the car that they're going to be trading in, right? If they're trading. But if they are trading, then, what was it about that vehicle that got you really excited to purchase it? And find out the background story, right? That might help us closing the deal in the future. It might give us some information about how they bought their last car. Maybe that's how they want to buy their next one. I put $5,000 down as the first car I ever got approved for, so I bought it, and now I'm here to trade it. My wife's having twins. We need something bigger. We don't know what the reasons are, but there are reasons. We need to find what those are because we need to find out those pain points, and we need to impress upon them how this vehicle is going to solve those things. And then bucket number three is budget. You can't earn the right to budget until you've done a good job getting to know them, finding out how you're going to help them with the cars that you're going to show them, finding out what they want to accomplish with their current car, and then finding out, budget-wise, how we're going to be able to make this thing work for them. So that's those questions you're going to want to ask towards the end of the conversation. Hey, folks, got a really good idea what you're looking for and what you're trying to accomplish as far as the must-haves and all the options on the vehicle. Got a good idea what you want to do with your car, and just finally, I just want to know what's your comfort zone for price, payment, down payment. And they might not want to give me that information right away. They might still not have warmed up to me, and they might give me something along the lines of, well, we're still kind of just figuring that part out. We're just really early on in the process, so we're not even really sure what our budget is. That may be true, but I know they know what they don't want to pay. So I'm going to rebut something along the lines like, hey, I totally understand that. It makes a lot of sense. I'm not trying to be sneaky or probe too much here, but I'm looking for a little bit of guidance. Folks, are you looking for something that's like $40,000, $50,000 range that's going to be somewhere in the $700 to $800, $900 a month range, or something in the $60,000 to $70,000 range? It's more like going to be in your $1,000 to $1,200 to $1,300 a month. I'm just looking for a little bit of guidance so I can make sure I show you the right vehicle. Okay, so that's how I cover all three buckets. Another question that you want to make sure you ask before you go and show them vehicles is, hey folks, if I could show you a way to save you maybe $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 on a certified pre-owned that has low miles, better warranty than on a new car, would you be interested in taking a look at something like that? Okay. Now, if I do that, I need to know my inventory. I need to know that I do have a car that I can show them that's going to actually cover all those bases and check all those boxes. Can't take them out in the used car lot and not have a clue and waste 10 to 15 minutes of their time and not have something that you want to show them directly. You want to be able to walk them out to a car you're confident about, a car that you have put your hands on before, you've smelled it, you've you've probably even driven it, and so you're a big believer in that vehicle and you're excited about showing it to them. And then if it doesn't work, then we're going to take them to a new car, right, and show them what they want. The other thing is, and we'll get into this more, vehicle selection, but you're going to want to show them, the first car you show them, you want it to be as least expensive as possible. Preferably has quite a few of the things that they want, but if it's lacking some of the options that they might want to pay extra for, but kind of show them something that's under budget and then let them bump themselves up from there. And we'll get into more of that during vehicle selection. So, but this is the basic just principles of counseling qualifying, right? Find out what their must-haves are for their new vehicle, what their motivation is, what's changed, what problem are we solving with the new car, what are we doing with the old car, how'd you purchase that last car, you know, why'd you purchase it, what was the reasons for that, so I get a little bit of background information about them, how they're going to use their new car, who's the primary driver, those kind of things. And then along those lines, I also want to find out about their family and how they use the vehicle and what they do for hobbies, and then I can build some rapport along those lines, hopefully find some common ground as well. So that's it for counseling qualifying. There's more to it than that, but that's just the basics. So if you have any questions, follow me. Let's hit me up and we'll talk more about it.